Today's reading for the Torah, as we're doing that this first part of the year. Before I get there, today is Martin Luther King Day, and so I encourage everyone to take some time. And if you don't know much about Martin Luther King, learn something, read some of what he said, but also commit to continuing his legacy to fight for rights for all people, and fight for a world where everyone is treated well, and has all the same basic rights. Just think that's important for us to remember as we remember this great man who fought for what he believed in. Today we're looking at Genesis 27. When Isaac was old and his eyes were so weak that he was almost blind, he called his older son Esau and said to him, "My son, here am I," Esau replied. Isaac said, "Since I am old, I could die at any time. Therefore, take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out into the open field and hunt down some wild game for me. Then prepare for me some tasty food, the kind I love, and bring it to me. Then I will eat it so that I may bless you before I die." Now Rebekah had been listening while Isaac spoke to his son Esau. When Esau went out to the open fields to hunt down some wild game and bring it back, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "Look, I overheard your father tell your brother Esau, 'Bring me some wild game and prepare for me some tasty food. Then I will eat it and bless you in the presence of the Lord before I die.' Now then, my son, do exactly what I tell you. Go to the flock and get me two of the best young goats. I'll prepare them in a tasty way for your father, just the way he loves them. Then you will take it to your father. Thus he will eat it and bless you before he dies." "But Esau, my brother, is a hairy man," Jacob protested. His mother, Rebekah, protested to his mother, Rebekah, "and I have smooth skin. My father may touch me, then he'll think I'm mocking him, and I'll bring a curse upon myself instead of a blessing." So his mother told him, "Any curse against you will fall on me, my son. Just obey me. Go and get them for me." So he went and got the goats and brought them to his mother, and she prepared some tasty food just the way his father loved it. Then Rebekah took her older son Esau's best clothes, which she had with her in the house, and put them on her younger son Jacob. She put the skins of the young goats on his hands and the smooth part of his neck. Then she handed the tasty food and the bread she had made to her son Jacob. He went to his father Jacob and said, "My father." Isaac replied, "Here am I. Which are you, my son?" Jacob said to father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I've done as you've told me. Now sit up and eat some of my wild game so that you can bless me." But Isaac asked his son, "How in the world did you find it so quickly, my son?" "Because the Lord your God brought it to me," he replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come closer so I can touch you, my son, and know for certain if you're really my son Esau." So Jacob went to his father, over to his father Isaac, who felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's, but the hands are Esau's." He did not recognize him because his hands were hairy, like his brother Esau's. So Isaac blessed Jacob. Then he asked, "Are you really my son Esau?" "I am," Jacob replied. Isaac said, "Bring me some of the wild game for me to eat, my son. Then I will bless you." So Jacob brought it to him. He ate it. He brought him wine, and Isaac drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come here and kiss me, my son." So Jacob went over and kissed him. And when Jacob caught the scent of his clothing, he blessed him, saying, "Yes, my son smells like the scent of an open field which the Lord has blessed. May God give you the dew of the sky, the richness of the earth, and plenty of grain and new wine. May people serve you and nations bow down to you. You will be lord over your brothers, and the sons of your mothers will bow down to you. May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed." Isaac had just finished blessing Jacob, but Jacob had scarcely left, his father's presence when his brother Esau returned from the hunt. He also prepared some tasty food and brought it to his father Esau. Esau said to, or brought it to his father. Esau said to him, "My father, get up and eat some of your son's wild game. Then you can bless me." And his father Isaac asked, "Who are you?" "I am your firstborn son," he replied. "Esau." Isaac began to shake violently and asked, "Then who else hunted game and brought it to me? I ate all of it just before you arrived, and I blessed him, and he will indeed be blessed." When Esau heard his father's words, he wailed loudly and bitterly, and he said to his father, "Bless me too, my father." But Isaac replied, "Your brother came in here deceitfully and took away your blessing." Esau exclaimed, "Jacob is the right name for him, for he has tripped me up 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now he has taken away my blessing." Then he asked, "Have you not kept back a blessing for me?" Isaac replied to Esau, "Look, I've made him lord over you. I've made all his relatives his servants and provided him with grain and new wine. What is left that I can do for you, my son?" Esau said to his father, "Do you have only that one blessing from blessing, my father? Bless me too." And Esau wept loudly. So his father Isaac said to him, "Indeed, your homes will be away from the richness of the earth and away from the dew of the sky above. You will live by your sword, but you will serve your brother. When you grow restless, you will tear off his yoke from your neck." So Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing his father had given to his brother. Esau said privately, "The time of mourning for my father is near. Then I will kill my brother Jacob." When Rebekah heard that her oldest son Esau had said what he had said, she quickly summoned her younger son Jacob and told him, "Look, your brother Esau is planning to get revenge by killing you. Now then, my son, do what I say. Run away immediately to my brother Laban in Haran. Live with him for a little while until your brother rage your brother's rage subsides. Stay there until your brother's anger against you subsides and he forgets what you did to him. Then I will send someone to bring you back from there. Why should I lose both of you in one day?" Then Rebekah said to Isaac, "I am deeply depressed because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob were to marry one of these daughters of Heth who live in this land, I would want to die." Chapter 28. So Isaac called for Jacob and blessed him, and then he commanded him, "You must not marry a Canaanite woman. Leave immediately for Padan Aram. Go to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and find yourself a wife there among the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. May the sovereign God bless you. May he make you fruitful and give you a multitude of descendants. Then you will become a large nation. May he give you and your descendants the blessings he gave Abraham, so that you may possess the land God gave to Abraham, the land where you have been living as a temporary resident." So Isaac sent Jacob on his way, and he went to Paddan Aram to Laban, the son of Bethuel, the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him off to Paddan Aram to find a wife there. As he blessed him, Isaac commanded him, "You must not marry a Canaanite woman." Jacob obeyed his father and mother and left for Paddan Aram. Then Esau realized that Canaanite women were displeasing to his father Isaac. So Esau went to Ishmael and married Mahalath, the sister of Nebaioth, the daughter of Abraham's son Ishmael, along with the wives he already had. Meanwhile, Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. He reached a certain place where he decided to camp because the sun had gone down, and he took one of the stones and placed it near his head, and then he fell asleep in that place and had a dream. He saw a stairway erected on earth with its top reaching the heavens. The angels of God were going up and coming down. The Lord stood at its top, and he said, "I am the Lord God, the God of your grandfather Abraham, the God of your father Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the ground that you are lying on. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out to the west and the east and the north and the south, and all the families of the earth will pronounce blessings on one another using your name and that of your descendants. I am with you. I will protect you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land. I will never not leave you until I have done what I have promised. Then Jacob woke up and thought, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not realize it. And he was afraid. And what a awesome place this is! This is nothing else than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. Early in the morning, Jacob took the stone he had placed near his head, and he set it up as a sacred stone. He poured oil on top of it. He called the place Bethel, although the former name of the town was Luz. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, if God is with me and protects me on my journey I am taking, and gives me food to eat and clothing to wear, and I return safely to my father's home, then the Lord will become my God. Then this stone that I have set up as a sacred stone will be the house of God, and I will surely give you back a tenth of everything you give me. One of the things that I want to kind of talk about a little bit is this idea that when Jacob lay down, he did not realize that God was there. When Jacob had this dream, he then realized it. And he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not realize it. And I think that that's something we need to, as followers of Jesus, we need to realize. Sometimes I think it's easy to forget that God is with us. I mean, we even use language in service, in worship services, about how God showed up, or we invite the Holy Spirit's presence into our midst. Guess what? God is already there. The question is, do we recognize it? And then, what do we do with that information? How does that change how we live? How does it change what we do? How does it change what we focus on, what we think about? Because that matters. When we realize that God is with us always, I think we realize we can make it through a lot more than we thought. When we realize that God is always present with us, that He is always here, then we truly are never alone. And when we realize God is always wherever we're at, wherever other people are at, we can also realize that God is always at work. God is always at work in my life. God is always at work in your life. God is working in everyone's life, trying to bring them to come to know Him and His love and His grace and His forgiveness. There is never a time that God is not trying to work in people's lives. The question is, do we realize it? And do we allow Him to work in our hearts and lives? It's something to think about today. Hope you guys have a wonderful day.